motorcyclist's skull.
Oh my God.
So doctors had to peel off his face and staple it back on. It's an eerie celebration from the grave. People spending their life savings to dine and dance with their dead relatives. This Bond girl's passion for powerboats left her dead in the water until a miracle brought her back. Ed Nussbaumer isn't using his bulldozer to build a house. It is his house. A 3-story mobile mansion with a twist.
There's nothing that can prepare you for Edmund's house.
Whether it's cans, corks, or forks.
Forkman.
This guy's the king of trash can fashion, but it's his living grass bikini that'll surely grow on you.
I would like to grow grass on a suit and send it to outer space.
Unbelievable? Believe it. On Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Welcome to the world of Ripley's, where the unbelievable is around every corner. Seth Enslow has a reputation as the motorcycle bad boy with the pretty boy looks. That was until he attempted to jump nearly 200 feet and landed face first.
Motorcycle stunt riding is an extreme and dangerous sport. Seth Enslow knows this all too well. In an attempt to be the best motorcycle jumper in the world, Seth ends up looking like Frankenstein's monster after having his face surgically ripped off and stapled back on. All from this accident that almost cost him his life.
Oh God, he's gotta be hurt.
Even at a young age, Seth knew that he loved motorcycle riding.
Bought my first bike when I was 16 years old in the truck and just started going to the races.
He quickly discovered his jumping ability.
I borrowed my buddy's 250 and hit it in the gear, and I just went so far and so high.
Not all of his jumps were successful. But Seth always seemed to brush off and walk away from many accidents. His girlfriend, Kristen, always supports him despite her fears.
I'm always nervous when I watch him, but I just know that he's gonna do it. That's what I tell myself.
Nothing could prepare him for his most dangerous dare, jumping his motorcycle farther than any other man. The distance, almost an entire football field.
I was going to beat Doug Danger's world record of 251 feet. I was feeling that I wouldn't have a problem doing like 260, 265, maybe even 270.
During practice runs, Seth consistently made shorter distances, but the winds continued to be a problem.
Actually, the wind is a big factor in Apple Valley because it's out in the desert where it's real flat. The first day, I got up to about 190 feet, and the crosswinds picked up, going sideways. And I didn't want to risk getting blown off course and missing the landing.
The next day, however, proved to be worse. During a test jump of 210 feet, an unexpected gust of wind pushed Seth too far.
I started where I left off the day before at 190 feet, but we moved it back 20 feet, so it was a little bit bigger gap. So the speed that I'd figured the day before, I went with, but once I got up by the telephone poles, I caught even more wind than what we were feeling down on the ground, and it just pushed me like a kite.
Overshooting the ramp, Seth hits hard.
Oh my God. Oh God. He's out. He's gotta be hurt.
He's hurt. Come on, man, please. Ambulance! Get everybody back. Get everyone back. Seth, don't get up. Do not get up, buddy. Okay? Do not get up.
One of the paramedics had came out and spoke with me and explained they weren't sure if his neck and his back, if that had broken.
The violent impact smashed Seth's face against the handlebars, shattering his skull.
He was bleeding a lot, and he had had a seizure, too.
Seth is immediately airlifted to Arrowhead Regional Hospital. Once at the hospital, surgeons quickly assessed that Seth had shattered his large sinus and would need surgery to repair his broken face if he was to survive.
Means that it was a head injury, and they brought me back in a couple days after Christmas and cut me ear to ear and pulled my face down and did the surgery, put titanium in my forehead because there was a big dent crushed in where the bone got crushed. After the surgery was done and I looked at myself, I was like, wow, I can't imagine being the doctor who took the knife and just came at me with it and just cut my head wide open and peeled my face off. You know, that's like, it sounds so crazy, like the person would just totally die if you did that to him.
Today, Seth's scars are nearly invisible under his hairline. Seth's near-death experience has not slowed him down. Despite doctors' orders not to even put on his helmet for 6 months, just 4 weeks after his surgery, the motorcycle madman was back on his bike and jumping again.
Obviously, I didn't feel like I was ready to retire. I didn't accomplish my goal of beating the record, so I'm not the type of guy to quit before I accomplish what I'm going after, so I'm gonna keep going until I do it.
It's been said that the grass is always greener on the other side.
But to Gene Poole Harding, and yes, that's his name, every side is the grassy side. The side of his Buick, the outside of a bathing suit, the outside of a business suit. You get the idea.
He's created a suit out of aluminum cans.
Over 500 cans and growing.
A jacket and pants made from forks.
Fork man.
Even an ensemble of wine corks.
The cork suit.
But at the top of his line is a suit that really grows on you. Gene Poole Harding, a carpenter who lives in Brooklyn, New York, wanted to find a way to bring the garden into the city. It was nearly 20 years ago that the seed for a grass suit initially sprouted and grew into a magnificent obsession.
Early on, I just saw the connection between, like, this grass suit is a living environment, and it's a very pure and perfect environment. I'm always trying to show people that you need to treat the earth and your city and your backyard like I treat my grass suit, and try to pay attention to how we're treating the planet.
Gene's line of clothes aren't seasonal, they grow all year round. In fact, he's grown dozens of grass outfits and has finally refined the art of creating a lush two-piece men's suit.
The conditions for growing a grass suit are very particular because there's no soil involved. It's just really high moisture, a lot of watering, not too much heat, and very little light.
Gene starts out with a regular suit from a thrift store. Then he applies an industrial adhesive glue over which he sprinkles a grass seed that is a hybrid from Central Park.
I use Manhattan perennial ryegrass because it grows very quickly. It'll sprout in about 48 hours, and I can grow a suit in about 2 weeks.
These grass suits can live for up to 3 weeks. Once the suits die, Gene has many ways to dispose of them.
I've dried them out and hung them on walls. I've shown them in galleries. I've given them away to people. I buried one. Sometimes I just throw them away.
Gene says the suits helped him overcome his shyness.
I was just amazed at how, it drew people into me, and it made me feel very just congenial and talkative, and it was just a complete enjoyment to be like out in nature in this suit that was totally alive.
You know how to sew?
I sow seeds.
Hey, there you go.
This is so cool.
Quite the outfit.
How much? Can I buy this from you?
It's wet. Kind of heavy.
Smells like grass.
Damp.
Yeah, it's fun. What an idea.
Wanting to push his act to a whole new level, Gene decided to design a two-piece suit totally unlike any other, a grass bikini. And on Fifth Avenue, America's heartbeat of high street fashion, turf green swimwear makes its debut.
People are pretty interested. They seem to be in awe. I've actually had somebody ask me where you can get one of these. Not at your local store, of course, but yeah, they're interested.
Gina's come a long way since his first suit. He's grown grass on cars, dresses, shoes, and he doesn't seem to be slowing down.
I would like to grow grass on a suit and send it to outer space.
At the end of the day, this homegrown designer is not interested in fashion fads.
Mostly it's just a labor of love. It just works every time, and it's really an enjoyable thing every time.
Still ahead, this woman spent her whole life savings for one last dance with her father. Never mind he's been dead for 30 years. Also, how this 150-pound pig saved her owner from a heart attack. Plus, can this daredevil escape the clutches of a killer python? And she's the youngest pilot to break the sound barrier. We take off with his Team Top Gun.
Give me a hard left for all the way up.
Next on Ripley's Believe It or Not. Stories you can't imagine. People you won't believe. Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Ripley's has discovered a town where residents take their life savings and throw a huge party for their dead relatives so that they can dance with their bones. If it sounds unbelievable, well, wait till you see it.
It's a sacred ritual where all of the guests of honor are dead. A ritual where the living spend a small fortune to appease deceased relatives. They believe that throwing a lavish celebration for the dearly departed will bring the entire family good fortune. Madagascar, an island nation off the coast of South Africa, is home to nearly 15 million people. Although the population is predominantly Christian, many people still follow ancient pagan traditions. But few practices are as startling as what's called the famadia, which means the turning of the bones. It's an all-day festival that's a bizarre twist on a family reunion. The average family holds a famadia once every 3 to 5 years during winter months. But other families like Rudolph and his wife Solo have to wait much longer. It took them 30 years to save up for the celebration that will reunite Solo with her father. If the couple skimps on the cost of the ritual, the dead may become offended. Cultural anthropologist Mary Womack explains.
The family would be shamed if they didn't spend lavishly on their dead relatives. And from the perspective of the dead relative, why would you want to be an effective mediator between your family and God if your family was not willing to show you a very good time?
The famadia begins when each family opens their tomb for 1 hour, allowing poisonous gases and the overwhelming stench to dissipate. The family then enters the tomb and invites the ancestors' spirits to re-enter their bodies. The most recently deceased are removed first for the celebration. This can lead to some startling graveyard behavior. It's a joyous family reunion in which people actually dance with the bodies. Family and friends are given the opportunity to talk to them.
They bring the spirits of the dead up on the gossip in the family.
The congregation then heads out to the site of the extravagant feast. Rudolph and Solo have spared no expense. They've slaughtered most of their livestock to prepare a huge banquet for hundreds of guests. After nearly a full day of joyful celebration, it's time for the final phase of the ritual. That's when the dead are given new burial shrouds and placed back in their tombs.
Giving the dead person new clothes has a very strong symbolic value. It marks a significant new phase in the life of a person.
For Solo, it's been an especially meaningful day, a chance to spend time with her long-departed father.
As
for the living, This interaction with the remains of their deceased family members serves to diminish their fear of death.
They're also saying death is a part of life. It's something that we must all become accustomed to and we must accept as a part of life. I wouldn't call that fatalism. I would say that's viewing death in a very pragmatic sense.
When the shrouds are changed, the women take the old dressings and tear them into shreds, then put them underneath their pillows for good luck.
Ripley's world of unbelievable animals. Here in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, residents treat this pot-bellied pig like royalty. That's because this heavyweight hog is a hometown hero.
Lulu literally saved my life.
Jo Altsman was home all alone the morning she suffered a massive heart attack and fell to the kitchen floor. Her pot-bellied pig, named Lulu, immediately sensed something was wrong and sprung into action with human-like heroics.
Lulu was putting her big head over mine and crying these big fat tears. I had no idea what she was doing at the time.
That's when Lulu actually went for help. First, she frantically squeezed through a doggy door that was only a foot wide. She was younger and definitely thinner at the time. Then the walking pork roast did the unbelievable. Lulu ran into the road and played dead to get someone's attention.
A young man in a convertible followed her back to the trailer door, banged on it, and said, "Hey, you people in there, your pig's in distress." And so I said, "So am I. Please call 911.
The paramedics arrived and rushed Jo to the ER. Doctors credit Lulu with saving her owner's life. When the story got out, Lulu put Beaver Falls on the map. The American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals gave Lulu this prestigious National Humane Award. The local library literally rolled out the red carpet, and the Beaver Falls Beauty Academy offered Lulu a free makeover.
Oh, she needs a manicure too? Oh my goodness. Look at her nails. How pretty Lulu looks.
Now this pig lives a hero's life and doesn't squeal when asked over for dinner.
She's a teenage Top Gun who wants to be a fighter pilot. She first sat in the cockpit at 5 years old, and she is also the youngest person in the world to break the sound barrier. I think that's enough to get you started.
We're here today to shoot at each other.
It's briefing time, and every word is critical.
Today we'll simulate gun attacks, not missile attacks.
20 minutes and thousands of feet in the air later, the battle begins.
Python. A little bit of G, that's good. Roll it out, right side up. Hard right for a sec, just a sec, right there. Keep her coming.
One pilot has the edge
Straight ahead for one
and
sec.
moves in for the kill.
There you go, you got it. Put it on him.
Locked in on the enemy, the pilot fires and nails the target.
You boys are out of your misery.
On the ground, it's time to savor the victory and meet the warrior. A 16-year-old girl named Katrina Muma.
You wave, Katrina?
Katrina began flying over a decade ago, but even with 10 years in the cockpit, Katrina's still too young to fly alone. She remembers getting her start at the tender age of 5.
It was at a local air show here, and it was in a 1929 open cockpit biplane, and it was a lot of fun. We got to do some wingovers and things like that.
Katrina has flown just about every type of aircraft there is, from the Goodyear blimp to a Russian MiG. That's right, a Russian MiG. Only 11 when she went to Russia, Katrina was convinced she could pilot a jet faster than sound. But her flight instructor was somewhat less than enthused.
He was led into a room saying, "Okay, here's the person you're going to fly with." So he thought it was a joke. He was mumbling things in Russian that I don't think I want to know what he was saying.
But later that day, Katrina Muma made history. She flew a MiG jet past Mach 1.3, an incredible 940 miles an hour. The youngest person ever to break the sound barrier. And what's next on this Top Gun's to-do list?
Now after high school, I want to go to the Air Force Academy, become a fighter pilot, go to test pilot school, the astronaut program, and then my ultimate goal is to lead the first manned mission to Mars.
Katrina's dad was so devoted to his little girl that he sold the family car to pay for her plane ticket to Russia.
Still ahead, an awesome 100-foot waterfall and the kayaker risking his life to be the first one down its treacherous path.
Once I've decided I'm going to do something, I know that I can do it.
We take you over the edge with this extreme athlete. Plus, the guy putting a whole new spin on the term mobile home inside the world's only revolving house on wheels. And this man nearly paid the ultimate price when he tangled with a python. Now, Ripley's is there for his reptilian rematch. Coming up. You're watching Ripley's Believe It or Not.
It's debatable whether going over Niagara Falls in a barrel is courageous or crazy. But a barrel is actually a pretty secure form of transportation considering that it's enclosed, waterproof, and padded. There is, however, little debate about danger when it comes to going over a 10-story waterfall in a kayak.
Theo Berman is about to take his kayak where no man has ever gone before, over the edge of a 98-foot waterfall. That's equivalent to jumping off a 10-story building.
There's no room for mistakes. If I make any mistakes, it could be, it can get me killed.
Thrill seekers have always been drawn to the danger of going over waterfalls. In fact, many people have died attempting to ride the 176-foot drop at Niagara Falls. Most of them were in specially designed padded barrels, but even that protection was not enough to survive the unbelievable impact on the water below. Now Theo is tempting fate. He has discovered and successfully descended more than 40 uncharted waterfalls in North and South America. But this latest, a plunge never tried before, is by far his most dangerous.
I'm confident enough in my ability, and I've trained enough that I don't doubt myself. Once I've decided I'm going to do something, I know that I can do it.
Theo, who is now 20 years old, grew up scaling rock walls in the Pacific Northwest before climbing into his first kayak at 14.
As I got better and started finding waterfalls and hard rapids to run, I started doing that type of thing, and I fell in love with it and realized it was what I was going to be doing for a long time.
When he's not in the water, he's in class, working toward a degree in marketing at Southern Oregon University. But when it comes to kayaking, Theo has taught himself. He's also become an expert at finding the rapids no one else has ridden.
And one way that I find these descents is by getting on my computer and looking at topographical maps.
And it doesn't take long for Theo to find a new challenge.
Here it gets even steeper. My guess is it's going to drop about 2,000 feet in a mile. Definitely have to go scout this one out.
The first thing Theo does when he finds a suitable course is walk the river. He checks to make sure that the water isn't too high, that the waterfalls along the way are runnable.
Before I climb into my boat, I need to be able to close my eyes and picture every single move that I'm going to do. And if I can't do that, then I'm not going to get in my kayak.
Extreme kayaking is growing more dangerous every year. Since 1995, 15 people were killed in the United States while kayaking. And that possibility weighs on the mind of Theo's girlfriend, Jennifer Bechtel.
When he's out on the river, there's always a certain fear factor on my part of watching a loved one go off these waterfalls.
Theo's latest conquest is this staggering drop at Banff National Park in Alberta, Canada. He's the first person to ever attempt it.
I knew that this was the waterfall, and I was ready to do it.
The Upper Johnson Canyon waterfall is extremely dangerous because it is only 8 feet wide at the top, and both sides are lined with solid rock. Theo's high-performance kayak is built to resurface fast, and he was the first kayaker to put 2-gallon jugs filled with water in front to prevent him from a potentially fatal rollover.
A broken back is a risk that I'm not willing to take, so let's just try to keep it at a couple rips at most.
First, he sends an empty kayak over the drop to see how it falls.
it still gives me butterflies watching them because you never know what's going to happen.
Satisfied that the conditions are right, Teo then paddles out above the falls. He reaches the lip, using his paddle to keep the kayak perfectly centered as he goes over the edge. It's all downhill from there. In slow motion, you can see every second of the terrifying plunge. About 80 feet down, the left side of Teo's kayak slams into a rock. It took less than 5 seconds for Teo to hit the churning water nose first. Unbelievably, Teo survives the 10-story fall. A broken carbon fiber paddle is proof of his fierce collision with the rocks on the way down.
Came down right where I wanted to be. It was all perfect and caught my left shoulder on the wall.
I saw that.
About 80 feet down, which rolled me. But it was a really good line. I didn't poop out. I did everything I wanted to do. I'm stoked.
Although every muscle in his body hurt the next day, and he had a bruised shoulder, Teo says that he has no intention of slowing down.
It's never ending. I'll continue to push myself as far as I think that I can and not get hurt. As soon as I had ran that waterfall and it had been successful, I was wondering how much bigger I could go.
They say a man's home is his castle. Well, what kind of castle do you think a man called the Bulldozer King would build?
It twists, it turns, it even drives right down the road, and odds are you've never seen anything like it. It's a huge 3-story house built right on top of a bulldozer. This incredible home is the creation of a man known as the Bulldozer King. That's Edmund Nussbaumer's nickname. And his passion for big rigs is well known in his hometown of Ensisheim, France. As our producer in France, Ed Flaherty, found out, you have to see this house to believe it.
There's nothing that can prepare you for the first time you see Edmund's house. I just sat there awestruck. It's really, really astounding.
Its total space is an amazing 3,660 square feet, 3 stories tall with wraparound decks and a jacuzzi, and it gives the phrase mobile home a whole new meaning. Edmund built his castle on wheels so he could relocate during seasonal flooding. A 160 horsepower engine actually moves this monster, but it can only go 3 miles per hour. That's because it weighs a staggering 200 tons. Its electrical and water systems work similarly to that of boats. The engine supplies the power, and the water is kept in tanks. Just for fun, Edmund put a turntable between the chassis and the platform. That allows the house to rotate 360 degrees in both directions. And when that turntable starts cranking, it's like being on a merry-go-round.
When the house starts spinning, your first reaction is to hold on because you think you're going to fall down or fall off.
The house can actually make a full revolution in just 10 seconds. And what's even more amazing, nothing inside moves. Furniture, artwork, even glasses stay right where they are without being bolted to the floor. A testament to Edmund's perfect design. But while it's fun to show off the home's unusual moves, Edmund says he usually likes to keep things simple.
Non, quand on y habite, on change en principe une fois par jour ou une fois dans la nuit tout seul. C'est-à-dire on vit avec le coucher du soleil et on aime bien se lever avec le lever du soleil. Alors en principe, c'est qu'une seule fois, une demi-tour par jour.
It's a self-contained, one-of-a-kind, all-terrain home, and its creator believes this is the house of the future.
Edmund says that his favorite hobby is rolling the house down to the lake and fishing off the balcony. We'll be right back.
Still ahead. Can this modern-day Houdini escape from 3 straitjackets before getting strangled by a mammoth snake? Plus, the Bond girl who died and lived to tell about it.
I'm very lucky, very lucky.
On Ripley's Believe It or Not. Enter Ripley's archive.
Robert Ripley, leave it or not? Leave it or not.
The year is 1961. The makers of the Amphi demonstrate the car's watertight construction by driving it into a lake. In fact, the German-made vehicle is the only passenger car meant to be driven both on land and water. With a top speed of 70 miles per hour on land, the Amphi's twin rear propellers power the craft to 12 miles per hour in the water. Almost 4,000 are built between 1961 and 1968, with most being sold in the U.S. for around $3,000. However, when the government begins imposing stricter emission guidelines, new models are not allowed into the country, and the company has difficulty staying afloat.
Bill Shirk is a multi-millionaire who could just relax and eat
breakfast in bed every single day if he wanted. But what he really wants is to be the first person to perform a dangerous escape while a giant python tries to strangle him.
Bill Shirk wants to prove that he's the #1 escape artist in the world. But his lofty aspirations have nearly killed him. Bill Shirk seems to have it all. He's a self-made millionaire who owns a broadcasting empire in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Classic soul and jamming hits. This is the new Kiss 106.7. Come on, guys.
He's also a happily married man with an 8-year-old daughter who keeps this 55-year-old on the move.
But I have a great life, I have a great wife, I have a great child, and thank you, God.
So why, then, is he willing to risk it all, time after time?
I am an egomaniac, and to be an escape artist, you have to be an egomaniac.
After escaping from a straitjacket as a kid in only 24 seconds, Bill was hooked. His success inspired him to read everything he could about the master of escape artistry, Harry Houdini.
I realized Houdini was the greatest promoter in the world. He used escape artistry to promote his magic, to pack his magic house.
Bill quickly figured out that recreating Houdini's escape routines was also a perfect way to promote his radio and TV business.
Are we ready?
Whether that meant hanging from a helicopter 1,800 feet up in the air, or being suspended from burning ropes during halftime at an Indiana Pacers game. Bill even had a song written about him called The Funky 2-Minute Escape.
What a funky 2-minute escape. It's a funky 2-minute escape. Watch out now!
But not all of his escapes have ended in success. Back in 1992, Bill was nearly sent to an early grave after being handcuffed and placed in this plexiglass coffin.
I got a bad feeling about this thing.
It turns out Bill's premonition was justified. First, dirt was piled around the sides of the coffin. Next, 7 tons of cement was poured on top, but the weight was too much. Suddenly, the coffin collapsed. Bill was trapped, totally helpless beneath thousands of pounds of concrete. Bill's crew frantically attempted to dig him out. Then, after several agonizing minutes, the crowd spotted Bill's hand pushing through the surface.
Hold on.
Moments later, Bill was pulled free and rushed to a waiting ambulance.
I could hear people trying to dig, but hell, I didn't know where I was. Thank God he spared my life on this one, and it'll be a while before I'll do one of these, I'll tell you that.
But Bill is always looking for that next great escape. For Ripley's, he's decided to attempt something he's never done before: escape from 3 straitjackets. On top of that, he'll do it while hanging upside down 25 feet in the air. And one more thing, a python weighing 150 pounds will be coiled around his body at the same time.
A 15-foot Burmese python is just like 15 feet of nothing but solid muscle. It's leaving yourself vulnerable to the snake, basically crushing your larynx.
After Bill has been secured to the crane, the giant python is placed around his torso. As soon as the crane is raised, the snake immediately tightens its grip around Bill's body. It's a defense mechanism that can exert up to 1,000 pounds of pressure. After 1 minute in the air, Bill is struggling but making no progress. 2 minutes pass, and he still hasn't been able to get out of even one jacket. Finally, after an agonizing 2.5 minutes, he throws off the first one. Another half a minute goes by, and Bill amazes bystanders by escaping from the remaining 2 jackets at the same time. With the massive python pushed to a safe distance from his throat, he's done it. Not only did he get out of all 3 jackets, it only took 3 minutes.
Houdini's spirit was with me tonight, there's no doubt about it.
And Bill hopes that the spirit of Houdini continues to watch over him as he pursues this hobby that frightens everyone but himself.
The most dangerous thing about what I'm doing is thinking that everything's going to be all right. Being overconfident, that's what scares me.
Next, a speedboat smash-up left this model clinically dead. Now, stuntwoman Sarah Donahue is risking it all again on Ripley's Believe It or Not.
A woman named Sarah Donahue has spent most of her adult life seeking fame as a stuntwoman. Years and years of training, hoping for that big break. In the end, it took just 4 minutes for her to make headlines around the world. Because that's how long it took for Sarah to literally come back from the dead. Sarah Donahue is a hot model in the print world and a top stunt woman for Hollywood films. Her combination of beauty and brawn made her the perfect choice for the latest James Bond film. But everything she had worked for came to a sudden end in a horrific powerboat crash. Believe it or not, after being clinically dead for 4 minutes, Sarah came back to life. Even at a young age, Sarah was different from the other girls in the neighborhood. Her mother, Pat, remembers.
She was a tomboy. I wanted a little girl I could dress in lovely little clothes, frilly dresses, and I got somebody who loved to wear jeans and T-shirts and play outside climbing trees. So I didn't get a little girl who liked to wear dresses.
Being a tomboy as a child has paid off for this daredevil woman. Not only is her modeling career on fire, but she's a top stunt woman who had been racing high-power speedboats competitively for years. Considered to be one of the best female boat racers in the world, Sarah was a natural for the high-risk boat chases in the Bond film, The World Is Not Enough.
Through my 6 or 7 years of racing boats, I've sort of got to such a standard that when the Bond film came up, they were looking for a very good boat driver, and the only girl they could find anywhere was me.
On and off the screen, Sarah lives for flying across the water. It takes 2 people to control the power of these catamarans, reaching speeds in excess of 100 miles an hour. Partnered with an Italian friend by the name of Enrico, Sarah had a team that could win it all. It was at a race in Venice that Sarah's life stopped. At full speed early in the race, something went terribly wrong. Enrico escaped, but Sarah was knocked unconscious. Worse, she was trapped under the weight of the boat, and Enrico was helpless to rescue his drowning partner. Precious time continued to slip by. 1 minute passed. Sarah's lungs were completely filled with water. 2 minutes. Rescuers were still unable to reach Sarah. 3 minutes go by. Sarah's condition had become critical. Finally, after 4 long minutes, Sarah's body was pulled from the wreckage. 3 rescue professionals tried CPR and failed. Sarah Donahue was pronounced dead at the scene. But Enrico would not accept the fact that Sarah was gone, and he applied CPR. Miraculously, his last-ditch effort paid off as Sarah started to cough up seawater. Black and blue from head to toe, she was air evac'd to the nearest hospital with a broken arm, shoulder, and jaw. Her lungs were slowly drained of the water, but doctors were more concerned about brain damage.
If the brain is without oxygen for 3 minutes. Permanent brain damage usually results.
Despite the grim prognosis, Sarah suffered no brain damage. But with the serious physical injuries, Sarah wondered if her life would ever return to normal.
Because I'd lost all the nerves in my face. I was talking through one side of my mouth, and everything was wrong. All my teeth were chipped. I looked horrendous. I did think, am I going to be all right in the future? Are these nerves going to mend? Because I couldn't feel my face, and I had no movement in this side.
Now, after a difficult year of surgeries and physical therapy, Sarah is back in the spotlight. With a miracle healing and a newfound confidence, her career is back on track.
Despite the accident, I'm still racing, I'm still here, I'm still in the sport that I love, and I'm still in the sport that basically nearly took my life.
And by doing so, Sarah Donahue has proven once and for all that inside her body beats the heart of a die-hard speed demon.
Next, a menagerie of livestock mutations. What could be more bizarre? Where they came from. Find out when we travel inside the Ripley vault. Next. You're watching Ripley's Believe It or Not.
No matter how many times you've been to the zoo, you've probably never seen creatures like these. That's because most two-headed animals are stillborn. Now, these one-of-a-kind animals came from one particular farm, run by a farmer with a heart of gold. He made it his mission to seek out these discarded genetic mutations, to care for them and extend their fragile lives. In fact, one of his 5-legged cows lived a full life to an amazing age of 17. Unbelievable? Believe it.